Guys, how are you? This is Joyce. Welcome back to our GH live stream. So today we're going to share with you for this kit. The item number called G651. So here are the 6 pieces fast drying dipping powder colors. And here is the 4 pieces dip glue. The first one is the number 1 base. The number 2, the activator. And the number 3, the top. And the number 4, the brush saver. So for a brush saver, you could clean your dirty brush. So here's the color of this G651. The dark colors. It so looks gorgeous, and actually today our nail technician is wearing this 102. These brown colors. And today's designs is like this dark princess nails designs. It's suitable for you for the party or the prom. And today we're going to share with you for how to make this easy ombre black nails, and with the brush and the sequins and the diamonds. It's super easy to do, so let's go for it. First, you need to do all preparation, like washing the hand, and to push back the cuticle and cut off the excess cuticle, etc. So let's go for it. Here's the color, the black color. The black color is called 108. And this color is the classic black color. So it's super black. It's suitable for so many designs. And we pick one color is 093. And this color is gray color. We're going to use these 2 colors to make the ombre. And for this gray color is kind of the medium dark gray. So for these 2 colors, kind of the classic dark colors. So we're buying the bumper pad. So if you have the balm or the primer at home, you could to dehydrate the nail bed first, and to make it dry, and then your powder will more stick with your nails. So to wipe off the oil, dry the nail bed first by the bumper pad. For every natural nails, but actually for our model is wearing the fake nails, but don't worry, we'll just show you how to make the designs. So if you're natural nail, you must be use the balm to dry the nail bed first. And now we're going to bring the number 1 base. We pick the suitable volume of the number 1 base, and just to brush evenly to your entire nail. After 1 layer of the base, you pick the color. For this color number is called 93. 093. For this gray colors, we're going to do the ombre by the brush first. It's super easy to make if you bring 1 brush. You could choose the different size of the brush depending on your nail bed surface, the area of your nail bed, the sizes. So we just using the brush to pick the stable volume of the powder and then sprinkle on the nails. Just doing the tapping on the nails, but actually you need to do it as soon as possible because for the base will be dry. So after the powder, you need to use 1 brush to help to brush off. We need to brush another layer on. So every time brush evenly is kind of the necessary part to avoid bumpy or uneven surface. So now we're going to pick the black powder and just fix the nail beds as you like, because for the last time we didn't sprinkle the powder on the surface well, so now we're going to do it again to cover the first layer. And just to use the brush to pick 2 colors. Actually, if you do not want 2 colors mixed together, you could use 2 brushes. So just tap on the nails. And going to tap off. brush off. So if you have question how to make the ombre nails, actually we got so many tutorials to show you how to make it. So here's the one way we like to use the brush to do the ombre nails. And it looks natural between the two colors. And we're going to brush again for the base. And this time we're going to using the tweezers and going to pick the sequence you like. For this kind of the sequence actually is so fine, so you do not need to worry whether it will be too heavier on your nail bed. So we just pick the 5 sequins to do the decoration between the two colors. For this kind of the nail accessories, actually you could buy from the Amazon. It's super easy to find that, and you could get different shade of the sequins to do the decoration on the nails. And normally because this color is the dark black color and the gray color, so we chose the silver look, the sequins. And to let the design looks more outstanding. Because this color of the sequins is not self-adhesive, you need to brush the base first and let it stick with your nails. And after that, you need to brush another layer of the base too. But this time you need to take care, do not let the sequins come all with your brush. So you just brush softly and prepare the clear powder. So actually for that clear powder, you could buy it from our dip powder accessories kit. Or actually if you join into our Facebook group, that's where we have the free gift for you. So here's the designs for this now. We're going to do the next. So now we're going to apply the base. We're going to apply the base. So we're going to pick the brush and just using the colors of gray colors. And now this time we're going to use the gray colors on the top and the black colors on the bottom. So we'll just pick the colors, just like last time, the last fingers we're going to do on these two colors. Because the black color is so with full pigments, so actually when you use the brush. So now we're going to use the base again. And every time brush evenly is so necessary. After the base, you need to bring out the brush. So actually for our fast drying dipping powder, because it's the fast drying, it could be dried by itself within 30 seconds. So actually when you're doing the ombre nails, the two colors won't be mixed together easily and won't let your brush get dirty. So normally for the ombre nails, we do 2 to 3 layers is enough. But actually if you want to do more layers, that you could do it 3 times or 4 times. Every time you need to brush off the excess powder from your nail bed. So after these two colors, we need to use the base again. But you need to make sure every time you need to brush evenly. If you find your brush get dirty, no worry, you could use the brush saver to clean it. So again, we're going to use the tweezer to help to pick the sequence You just by entered Amazon.com by searching sequins, you could get different sizes and different looks. And this one is the silver one. Okay, put it randomly on your nails. After that, you need to apply the base again. As we mentioned before, you need to take care. Do not let the sequins come off with your brush. And you could to adjust the position of this sequins too. After that, you need to prepare the clear powder and dip into the clear powder to protect your design. So for our clear powder, you could use as the cover powder to protect your nail design. It is the same fast dry dipping system too, so you do not need to apply any activator. So if you mix last part, we're going to do this finger again. Brush the base to your entire nail, and then to use the brush to pick the suitable volume of the powder. And just during the tapping on the nails, from the top, we chose the black color. And just tapping with randomly, and then turn to the next color. The number 93 for this dark gray color. Just tap on the nails randomly to let the nails look more natural ombre. Okay, we bring the number 1 base again. And to brush the base to your entire nail again, but do not let the base to get on your cuticle skin. Because where the base is, the powder will stay with. So if you let the base to get on your cuticle skin, you need to wipe off directly. Do not dip into the powder. So we're going to use a brush again. As you can see for our black color, it's the dark super black. It looks gorgeous and combined with these gray colors. Actually, for this G651, we have another 4 pieces, the dark colors too. You could select any colors you want to make the designs. So today's our nail technician wearing is color of the chocolate brown colors. You could select that colors to do the ombre too. So you have many choices when you buy this powder kit. So again, we need to using a trickster to how to pick the sequins. For today's design is super easy to follow, but actually you're going to learn how to combine these colors and learn how to make these designs more perfectly. So we just pick the sequins and just randomly put on the nail bed. So actually, because for our base, it will be dry very fast. So you need to pick the sequins and put on the nail beds as soon as possible. Once it gets dry, so your sequins will not stick with your nail bed. So you need to dip into the clear powder. I think most of our customers, they have the question why our brush of the base, why it gets dirty or not, because every time we need to leave the suitable times for you to apply for the next colors. So for our powder, it could be dry by itself. So every time you need to leave the suitable time for the color to get dry, the powder get dry. So your brush won't get dirty easily. So now we need to use the powder of these two colors. This time the gray colors on the top and the black colors on the bottom. And tap off, brush off, and bring out the base. So when you're using the dust remover brush to brush off the excess powder, it's kind of another way for you to avoid the base brush get dirty easy. So that's why we every time to brush off the excess powder by the dust remover brush. For that dust remover brush, you can buy it from our dip powder accessories kit too. As I mentioned, if you have the interest to join into with our Facebook, you just by searching GHdip, you could get more video and you could share your nail experience with so many nail lovers in our group. And actually, suddenly we have the free gift for our dear fans too. So just join into our Facebook group. So now we're going to brush off the excess powder. Remember, for the next, we need to apply thin layer on for the base to your entire nail again, because we need to pick some sequence. So pick the suitable sizes of the sequence is so necessary for you to get more perfect nails. And later we are going to do the mid-wear powders too. You can see how to make the mid-wear nails later. We're going to do another fingers. Okay, so prepare the clear powder and dip into the powders. Let the clear powder protect your designs. So let's move for the next. For this finger, we're going to do 2 times of the black colors. Using the base, so every time when you brush the base, to make sure brush evenly. And dip into the color powder with 45-degree angle. So if your nails are short, you do not want the nails with so many layers that you could dip into the color powders directly, because our powder was full pigment and smooth enough. But if your nails are long and you want more thick layer of your nails, you could dip into the clear powder first. Okay. We need to dip into the black color again. Tap off. Brush off the excess powder. How gorgeous of these black colors. It's super easy to get the glossy black colors. As you can see, for the brush, it's so easy to get dirty by the dark colors. But do not worry, later we're going to show you how to use the brush saver to clean it. So we're going to shave out the powder and select your finger to dip into the powders with 45-degree angle. Okay. Let it stay for a second and take out, tap off. Brush off the excess. Use the base again. every time make sure to brush evenly and then put into the powder skin and take out. So here's the basic handle way to do the solid powder nails. Just brush evenly for the base to your entire nail and dip into the color powder with 2 times. It's super easy to get the natural solid look nails. So for this finger, we're going to do the mirror powder to apply the mirror powder. So we're going to do the slightly buffing. For our powder, actually it's the fast drying dipping powder. It's the unique formula on the market. So that's for our powder could be dried within 30 seconds by itself. So after 30 seconds, you could do the filing, shaping and the buffing directly for your nails. And for this finger, why we're doing the buffing right now? Because later we're going to apply the mirror powders on. So if you want to do the mirror powders on, the smooth surface is so necessary. So that's why we're going to do the buffing on your nail fingers. So using a buffer to grind the nail surface more smooth. Later we're going to do the mirror powders on. Okay, wipe off the dust from your nail bed. We take out the top coat. For this one is the gel top coat. We need to apply very thin layer of the gel top coat on your nail bed. From the middle left to the right, and just to apply evenly. For make sure every time to do the surface evenly and smooth without any bumpy problem. So after that, we need to take out the UV lamp. So every time if you're using the gel top coat, the gel system, you need to prepare the UV lamp. And we're going to do the curing for around 30 seconds. So do not need to curing for over 1 minute, just 30 seconds to let the surface a little bit sticky but smooth. Later we are going to apply the mirror powders. Thumbs up, we are going to take out. So now for the surface, a little bit sticky. So we're using the applicator. This kind of the applicator just like the eyeshadow applicator. We just apply it by this kind of the eyeshadow applicator and just to make the mirror chrome nail looks. So here's the chrome looks. And this one is the holographic, just like the hologram powders. For the black surface, for the black basic colors, and then to apply the mirror powders on, the hologram powders on. It will let your nail looks very glossy. To make sure you already wipe every layer, every place on your nail beds, the whole nails. So we're going to do this finger again. First, after 2 times of the black color, you need to apply the gel top coat and for curing around 30 seconds. The reason why we for curing around 30 seconds. The reason why, because we want the surface a little bit sticky, that your powder will stick with. It's so necessary when you, during these times, to control the time for the gel top coat. For the mid-wear powders, you could by searching the hologram powders on the Amazon. So now time's up. We're going to using the lighter eyeshadow applicator to do the apply on the nail surface. So every time when you're using this kind of the maple powder, just pick it and apply on the nails. For the black colors, it will let the maple powder comes up and shine out. For this kind of maple powder, it's so fine. So actually, it's better you could to do a preparation for these powders when you're using the applicator to apply on the nail bed. Okay. After that, you need to cover one layer of the gel top coat. For this time, the gel top coat you could apply more and to protect your nail designs. And we're going to apply the gel top coat for this finger too, because we want to save time to put into the UV lamp together for this two finger. Okay, don't forget the nail edge. And this time for the gel top coat, you need to curing for around 1 minute. So during this 1 minute, if you have any question, just contact with our after sales service team. You could get more suggestion, or you could get us some ideas how to make the nail designs well. So actually for this mid-wear powders now, the first layer we are going to use the black colors and to apply the mid-wear powders on. So it's same kind of like the gel powder, the gel polish. So for this kind of the mid-wear powder choke controlling, you could learn by our tutorial. We just need to wait around 60 seconds. So time's up. For this mid-wear nail looks, the hologram powders. Okay, let's do for the next. So we take out the number 1 base for the rest of the fingers. Every time you need to brush evenly to your entire nail, from the middle left to the right, to make sure your surface is flat. If you find the place with the excess base, the dip glue, you need to wipe off by the lengthy wipe of your fingers. Then dip into the powder, the color powders. Okay, so back to the tutorial. For this black colors, the color pigments is so full enough and smooth enough so that you could do it 2 times or 1 time. And with the clear powder as the base or 2 times of the color powder. But if you want your nail more thick, you could do 3 times or more. So actually, normal time we doing 2 times for the color powders. For black color, actually you find it's so dark color, so the brush will get dirty easy. So after you see the brush get dirty, you could use the lengthy wipe to wipe off first. And using a brush to brush off the excess powder is so necessary to avoid the brush get dirty. Okay, so for this 2 finger, we're using the black colors only. We're going to use the base again. So no matter what colors, when you dip into the powders, you need to turn your finger 45-degree angle. And this way to let you to get more smooth surface of your nail bed. Because if you dip into the powder directly, straightly, and the powder will be easy to stick together. Okay, so tap off and brush off the excess. Just leave it for around 30 seconds. As you can see, every time when you brush the base to your entire nail, we do it slightly and softly. We want to brush it so hard and so fast. So do it slightly is so necessary. No matter you are the master or you are the nail beginner to make this kind of the fast giant dipping powder. So every time do it slightly and brush from the top to the bottom. Tap off and brush off the excess by the dust remover brush. So, as I mentioned, if you find your brush get dirty, if not so dirty, you could to clean it by the lengthy wipe. But if you like this, you could use the brush saver to clean the dirty brush. Just put the dirty brush inside the brush saver and shape it and bring out. So it will be clean as usual. But after that, you need to use the lengthy wipe or the paper to wipe off. And then put into the base dip glue. And every time keep the cap tightly closed. Because for this kind of the dip glue, it will be to affect by the air. So it's so necessary after using, you need to keep all cap tightly closed. Especially for the base and the top, you need to clean the mouth of the bottle first and then to put back, to screw back and to make close. So after that, you need to using the nail file. We like to use the nail machine. As I mentioned, because for your nails, you already to cover with the clear powder, you could doing the filing directly by the nail file. So actually, if you follow our tutorial step by step, you won't have the bumpy problem easily. Okay. For the mirror powders one, we're already done, so we're going to do the next. For the filing, if you do not have the nail machine, you could use the nail file to do the filing. But every time remember, do not to do over filing, and you need to use 2 fingers to hold your cuticle skin to avoid get scratch. Because you are going to use the dark color, so your nails or hands will easy to get dirty. But don't worry, after that you could go washing and you could clean by the brush too. But if you want to get more refined and perfect nail looks, you need to do all filing, shaping, and buffing for the whole process. Okay. After that, we'll bring out the nail file. So here's the nail file I mentioned. If you do not have the nail machine, you could use this nail file to do the filing. But we like to use it to do the shaping. And today our nail model is wearing the coffin shape. Okay. After the shaping, you need to prepare the buffer. For this nail buffer, we're going to grind the nail surface more smooth, but to let it get rough because later we're going to apply the activator and the top on. If you want your top looks more glossy and shiny, for the buffing it's so necessary step for you. If you do not have our now the dip powder accessories kit, you could select the suitable size of the nail tools to make all this process too. But for our this nail buffer, you could use for the natural nails and could use for the artificial nail. So you could buy this to combine with our dip powder accessories kit and the powder kit. Actually, you could join into our Facebook group. We have more combination of the powder kits for you. So we're going to use this nail buffer to do the surface grinding. Later you will get more smooth of the nail bed. Okay, since the nail buffing is the long time process, but it's so necessary when you get more perfect nail looks. So just wait for it. Later we're gonna show you how to apply the accelerator and the top on. Brush off the excess powder, the excess dust by the brush. Okay, back to the tutorial. And actually for today's kit, this item number called G651. And for this powder kit, you could get 6 pieces the fast giant dipping powder and 4 pieces dip glue. For that 6 pieces the fast giant dipping powder, it's the dark color. So for the black color, it's kind of the classic colors for the nails. So if you get this kit, you could get more choices. And for super black, it's really black. And actually you could use it to do so many designs and to do the ombre nails or just like the French nail. If you learned how to make the color French nails, you could, or the color block, you could buy this kit. And or to focus on our GHdip tutorials, you could get more by this black classic colors. Okay, we almost done the buffing. But actually, the reason why we use so long time to do the buffing, because if you want your nail surface looks more glossy and shiny, so it is the important part, the key point. So actually, you could, if you're doing the nails at home, you could wash your hand now, but actually for the tutorial now, the live stream. So we just to use the brush to brush off. We clean the table, and now we pick out the number 2 activator. Before the activator, you need to use the lint-free wipe to wipe off any dust from your nail bed. Just ignore the mirror powder one. We already done that nails already. For the rest of the A fingers. So bring out the number 2 the activator. So we're going to use the activator to apply on very thin layer, but need to apply to your entire nail. If you do not want the powder easily cracking from the critical part, so it's so necessary for you to apply the activator to your full nail, entire nail. And for the activator, you need to use it to dry the top coat and let the top coat get shiny. So you just need to use it only one time. We bring out the top coat. We need to apply the top coat for 2 times. For the first layer, very thin layer. The reason why we apply the first layer with very thin layer, because later we're going to apply the second layer on. When you see the surface get matte, just several seconds, you need to come back to apply the second layer on of your nails if you want to get more shiny nail looks. Go back and just to apply the second layer on. For the second layer will much more than the first layer. But every time make sure brush evenly, no matter which layer. So this is the designs of ombre nails with two colors. The 108 black color and the 93 the gray color. So for these two colors to make the ombre looks gorgeous. And super shiny and super black. Okay, we need to apply the top. If you have the interest for the color which our now technician wearing, that chocolate, the red brown color is called 1082. It's the red brown color, like the chocolate. So we're going to apply the first layer of the top. Make sure you need to brush evenly. And actually for the fingers with black color, we need to apply some gems. Okay, let's finish this finger first. For the top finger, we just use the black, but for this finger, we need to apply the second layer on of the top. Okay, we select the gems and put it on the top of the nail. So when you're doing this gems on the fingers, you need to use the tweezer to how to pick it. Okay, for this now looks glossy and fancy. So we're going to do this hand. We need to use the number 2 activator first. Remember, you need to brush the activator to your entire nail, the whole nails. But when you're using the activator, you just need to use it only one time if you are using our fast drying dipping powder system. Okay, to make sure to cover your whole nails for the activator, then you won't have the problem whether the powder will be easily cracking from critical part. So now we bring the number 3 to the top. As I mentioned, you need to do it 2 times of the top. The first layer, very thin layer, but brush evenly. Okay, don't forget the nail edge. After seconds, we need to use the top again for the second layer. For the second layer, it will be much more than the first. So we need to apply the top to your entire nail again for the second layer. Actually, for our second layer, it will dry within 1 minute. So for our top, it could be fast dry than other dip glue on the market. It will saving your time, so for our fast drying dipping system, it's saving your time and more easy to use. So it's so necessary if you are the now beginners, you could use them. But for our black colors, As you can see, super black and looks gorgeous. Return to this finger. We apply the first layer. Make sure you are ready to apply the top to your entire nail. And don't forget the nail edge. Okay, so as you could see, when you see the surface get matte, you need to apply the top again. The surface half dry but still sticky. It's the time for you to apply the second layer on. And for this finger, it's same. We need to apply the second layer on when you see the surface half dry but still sticky. Okay. But for this, we're going to pick some gems to do the decoration. The middle one is the bigger size. And chose the small size of the sequence of the gems to put it on the left and right. And chose the smallest one on the both sides too. So here's the designs. So if you want to get more tutorial or the video to show you how to make the designs, so just focus on our GHdip. It looks gorgeous for this black nails. Ombre black, super easy one. So if you have the interest to get more videos, just contact with us. Focus on our GHdip. Thanks for watching. See you next time.